Okay, 213. I think this is a neat example. Vector v is 3, 8. That's the one that's drawn in. And vector u is x5. So its y coordinate is 5. That means that it lies on this dotted purple line. Its x coordinate we're going to have to solve for. It says v and u meet at an angle of 36.8699 degrees. Find all possible values for x and round to 2 decimal places. Okay, I chose that angle for this problem because it's going to make something work out nicely. Um, but first, let's look at this. If I had a protractor, I could draw I could draw something in from here. But here's my our other angle, or I'm sorry, our other vector. It's supposed to come over here and make an angle of 36.9 or 36.8699 degrees. So it should look something kind of like that. And then we're going to have another one over here where the angle would be the same. So that angle and that angle should be the same there. So we should be able to find two solutions for this. And I'm just eyeballing that angle there. Um, what I want to do is now solve for that. So we'll solve for that using the same formula up here that we've been using. Cosine of the angle is the dot product over the product of the lengths. So let's work out all those things. The the dot product u dot v is 3x plus 40. The length of u is the square root of x squared plus 25. The length of v is the square root of 3 squared plus 8 squared. So that's 9 plus 64. So that's 73. So the square root is 73. Whoops. All right. And the last thing we need is the cosine of the angle. The angle is 36.8699 degrees. And if you put that into a calculator, be sure you're in degree mode. I picked that value because it makes that cosine very, very close to 0.8. So we're just gonna call that 0.8 for this because it's really close. And we're only trying to get an answer to 2 decimal places. So this will be plenty close enough. So what we've got to do is put all this into the formula. So we get the cosine of the angle is the dot product over the product of the two lengths. So we've got to solve this equation. And I don't have room to solve it on here. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to come down here to a blank page. Okay, so let's solve this thing. First up, let's clear the denominator. So we'll multiply both sides by 0.8 or multiply both sides by those square roots. So 0.8 times root 73 times root x squared plus 25 equals 3x plus 40. Okay, now we got to square both of these. This is actually going to work out decently. Because when you square this on the left, if you square 0.8, you get 0.64 times 73 times x squared plus 25. And if you square this over here, you get 9x squared. Let's see, 3x times 40 would be 120x. So plus 240x plus 40 squared is 1600. Yeah. Okay, so really what we've got here is a quadratic equation that's going to have some kind of ugly coefficients on one side. So let's see, 0.64 times 73 is 46.72. All right, so this is going to be 46.72x squared plus 46.72 times 25 is 1168 equals 9x squared plus 240x plus 1600. All right, so let's move everything to one side, and I prefer to have my x squared term positive, so I'm going to move all this stuff over here. So let's see, 46 minus 9 is 37. So it's 37.72x squared minus 240x. And then let's see, 1168 minus 1600 is negative 432. All right, so we've got this beautiful quadratic equation to solve. So we'll just plug into the quadratic formula here. So our x is going to be minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. All right, so let's work out what this discriminant is first. Actually, let's do that. 240 squared. I'm going to put in plus 4 times 37.72 times 432. Okay, so underneath there, for the discriminant, I get 122,780 and 0.16. I'm going to go ahead and take its square root. 350.4 over 2 times 37.72. That's 75.44. All right, so I'm going to put that into my calculator, just like it's written there, except I'm going to do 240 plus 350.4. On the bottom, 75.44. When I do that, let's see, I get 7.82, or 7.83, if I round correctly. Then I'm going to go back up there and change that plus to a minus. When I do that, I get negative 1.46. And those are my two answers. Now let's go back up to the graph. 7.83 and negative 1.46. So 7.83. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.83 is going to be here-ish. And what was the other number? Negative 1.46. So negative 1.5 is going to be there-ish. So those are the two vectors that form that correct angle. And my estimated drawing there was pretty good. So anyway, those are our answers there.